Braves Country. I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Hey Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first, and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "That ain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner. Hey Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show Braves Country Today just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024. A is for Aaron, the Hammer and Hank, the real home run king. Take that to the bank. B is for Bobby, Cox never cowered. He'd give Blue quite an earful on his way to the showers. C is for Chipper. Don't call him Larry. He would show up in Shea, the Mets he would bury. D is for David. Justice he'd bring. A Game 6 solo brought Atlanta their ring. E is for Eddie Matthews. 512 bombs away. Lit skies from Boston to Milwaukee to the A. F is for Fred. McGriff dog-biting crime. A fire was lit the day he arrived. G is for Glavine. Southpaw winds and kicks. Changing speeds east and west. A gem in Game 6. H is for Harry and his brother George Wright. The father of baseball, Boston pennants in flight. I is for inning, ending double play. Riley to Ozzie to Olsen all day. J is for Jones. Andrew let her fly. And his gloves in center is where singles would die. K is for strikeouts. A plenty from Strider. The quads in the stash, getting swings from that slider. L is for Lopez. Javi to B-Mac. Travis and Smurf, we've been lucky to see that. M is for Mad Dog. He won 355. Could swat flies with the changeup and still bust you inside. N is for Necro. He got to the hall by bending and knuckling and floating that ball. O is for Otis. Old Nixon could fly. The catch at the wall baffled our eyes. P still for Peterson. We were all rockin' pearls. With Eddie and Jorge, we were out of this world. Q is a quandary for why Dale is not in. Murphy MVPs again and again. R is for ranking. The top pitchers lore. Remember Kid Nichols, 107 WAR. S is for Smoltzy. The big three in the hall. When the game's on the line, you give John the ball. T is for Tyler. Matzik and the gift of 2021, the entire night shift. U is for Chavez, but we say Uncle Jesse. The frames, the release, kept the batters guessing. V is Van Weeren. Skip Carey 2. Don Ernie Joe, the tales from the booth. W is Warren. Spawn Johnny Sane. They'd ride him in Boston and then pray for rain. X is Mazzoni. Yeah, X marked the spot. Leo rocked next to Bobby, and his pitchers stayed hot. Why it makes us feel young, the game's main appeal. Chopping through the battery, there's no better feel. Z is for Zip Boom Bam, Ramalama Ding Dong. Throughout the summer, we sing that song. From AJ to eyeglasses and a hell of a pen. Mad Max, Uncle Charlie, win after win. A cannon from short, and RC you later. Acuna Matata, there is no one greater. Though you can't fit them all when you just A to Z. Think of your favorites in the rafters we see. I started with 3, then 10, 25, 47, 31, and of course 29. Let's not forget 21, 41, 35. The Great 44, or 755. And old number 6, who led his great teams. The pennants were flying. It felt like a dream. From Boston to Milwaukee to Atlanta's TBS, a family, a tradition, Braves Country's the best. Lineup for Braves Country by DM McGee, 2024.
me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it. The fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the man. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Polk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won Baseball World Championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone! Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-run lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Swung line drive left field. 1 run is in. Here comes Reed. Here's the throw to the plate. He is safe.
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and
7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Leading off for the Miami Marlins and playing shortstop, Xavier Edwards. 1 home run, 12 RBI, 9 stolen bases, batting .378. Batting second, the designated hitter, Jake Berger. 15 home runs, 43 RBI, a .239 average. Batting third, playing right, Jesus Sanchez. 12 home runs, 39 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .238. Batting cleanup, Bride is at first base, 1 home run, 7 RBI, a .267 average. Stowers is in left field, 1 home run, 9 RBI, batting .256. Lopez batting sixth, playing second, 3 home runs, 19 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .226. Gordon is in center field and batting seventh, 8 homers, 32 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .228. Rivera is batting eighth and at third. He has 1 home run, 14 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .207. And Sanchez is behind home plate, 7 for 40 on the year with a .175 average. He has 1 RBI. On the mound for the Miami Marlins, it's Valente Belazzo. He's thrown 10 innings this year with a 4.5 ERA, a 1.00 whip, 9 hits allowed, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 home run served. He'll be going head-to-head with Spencer Schwellenbach. Schwelly is 4-5 with a 4.06 ERA, 1.06 whip, 57 2/3 innings, 51 hits, 60 strikeouts, 10 walks, 7 home runs given up. Backing up Schwellenbach in the bottom of the first inning, it's Jorge Soler in right field. 12 home runs, 40 RBI, a .236 average, 1 stolen base. Batting second, playing third, Austin Riley. 15 home runs, 46 RBI, a .258 average. Marcell Ozuna is batting third, the designated hitter. 31 home runs, 84 RBI, batting .303. Matt Olson is batting cleanup and playing first. He has 18 home runs and 52 RBI, a .226 average. Orlando Arcia batting fifth and playing short. 10 home runs, 31 RBI, .225 average. Eddie Rosario is in left field and batting sixth. 10 home runs, 34 RBI, 9 stolen bases, batting .180. Sean Murphy is batting seventh and behind home plate. He has 6 home runs, 13 RBI, batting .220. And Kid Kelnick will be patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves. He's batting eighth with 12 home runs, 33 RBI, 6 stolen bases, batting .237. And batting ninth, playing second, it's Whit Merrifield. 3 home runs, 11 RBI, 3 stolen bases, batting .198. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate for Game 2 of Braves versus Marlins, it's Todd Titchener. Your first base umpire, Austin Jones. Second base will be manned by Nestor Seja, and down the third base line, it's Manny Gonzalez. There's a slight chance of rain tonight. The wind is blowing from right to left field at 7 miles an hour. We're expecting 90 degrees at first pitch and 55% humidity. Atlanta Braves come in 10 games over 500 and are minus 240 on the money line. The over-under is 8.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Marlins Game 2 of a 4-game set. We've got the Schwellenbach Schwell emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. Braves are looking to win this Game 2 after winning Game 1 last night, the first game of a 7-game homestand. Friday night baseball here on Braves Country. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club. Braves Country, get your game face on. Good evening, Braves Country. Real quick, just going to go over a couple of things real quick, then we'll get into the roll call. First of all, pick to click. I'll put it in the chat here in a second. Pick to click. I'm going to go out on a wild card, have nothing to base this on. Give me Kid Kelnick and Atlanta to win 8-2. Give me Kid Kelnick and Atlanta to win 8-2. Putting that in the chat right now. And other than that, we got some other things that we'll go over during the actual broadcast itself, but nothing super important. I saw some guys that were released, and I'm going to keep an eye on it because could be some folks that the Braves may come in through the fold that may claim on waivers. Let's get into the get this thing started. Here we go. Let's get into the roll call real quick. I see Charlie. I see Country Club member Charlie Pittman. Country Club member Edward Spry. Willis Mathis. What you talking about, Willis? I see Mark Lucy, I'm home, Ricardo. I see, who else do we have here in the Country Club? I missed a few. I had to generate the page, so sometimes I lose something. Nathaniel Brooks. We see Gary the Real McCoy. And AY. Good to see all of y'all. Also in Braves Country tonight, we see John. We see Keith Williams. We see, I thought I saw a few more. Here we go. John Morgan. Justin Green. John, to answer your question, I don't believe we're going to get hit by the rain. It was looking all day long like we're going to get hit by that rain. And Honest Engine, it looks like now that it's going to escape us. We might get a little bit of drizzle, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the actual ball game. But we'll see what happens. We make Edward Spry. I think I missed that on the way in. Good to see you. Who else do we have here? We've got Underwater. Underwater. Were you watching the Pittsburgh game a second ago? Dude, Ortiz got lit up. And I mean, if that would have happened to a Braves pitcher, we would have been kind of unglued. Nobody went up there and talked to him. They hit back-to-back-to-back-to-back home runs on about 4 or 5 pitches. That kid was getting pounded. I didn't see what the score is now, but it was 4-0 out of nowhere. Caesar the Great, good to see you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get us set up here for Braves Country Baseball. Set up like that. Nobody wants to see my ugly mug during all this. So good evening, Braves Country. And the Atlanta Braves, I'm wearing my red because the Braves are wearing their red. Friday night reds. Tonight I'm wearing Olsen. Last night I had the Jorge Soler jersey, but I got the Olsen jersey kicking tonight. I'm still going to go with Kid Kelnick just because I don't like the reason why I don't like grabbing the guys that are hot is because I don't want to feel like I'm just riding the same train into work every single day. So that's why I'm going to Kid Kelnick. I almost went with Merrifield, and what the deciding factor was, there's a righty on the mound. What's interesting tonight about the guy that's on the mound, first of all, he's only got a couple of starts, he's right-hander. But both teams, neither one has seen the other pitcher. So we might be in for a low-scoring affair to start off if both pitchers are hitting their marks. Because as we all know, the pitcher has the advantage in baseball. And we could end up with a situation where it's a low-scoring game and then they break out. I think the Braves will break out in this one. I think we'll win this one. I got us going 8-2 and Kid Kelnick getting he's had a couple of good swings. I think he might get into one tonight. I'm pretty sure I saw Charlie Pittman. I know you're going through it right now, so good luck to you, Charlie. and hopefully everything comes out on the good end of that. Atlanta Braves are wearing their home reds. The Marlins are in their road attire in the grays. We've got, once again, I don't think we're going to get any kind of a delay, but if we do get a delay, it'll be that much more important to go out there and get the early lead. If we get into a delay situation, the only good thing is the bullpen's fairly rested. Now, here's the drawback. They are skipping the start on Ronaldo Lopez. We found that out today, that it is official. He'll pitch sometime next week. I don't know if it'll be possibly the Tuesday game against Milwaukee or if they're talking about pushing him all the way back. And at that point, you got to start asking, why didn't you just put him on the IL? But anyways, they're going to skip him in a start. But Max Fried appears to be back either Sunday or they may push it back to Tuesday. They haven't announced it yet, but that's where we're looking at. The other thing is tomorrow is going to be Grant Holmes Day. So we got Grant Holmes on the mound tomorrow, and looking forward to that game, as it'll be game 3 of this series. And I think I mentioned a few times last night, but once again, it is a 7:20 pitch. It's not your traditional 4 o'clock game that we normally get on Saturdays. It's a 7:20 first pitch. It is your local broadcast. It's not a Fox game, so that's why they're sticking with the 7:20. I think the reason why they did that is because it's August. It's Atlanta. They're trying to keep people cool. But we do have a day game next week, the getaway game with the Milwaukee Brewers Thursday. Put that down your calendar. So we're 7:20 across the board tonight, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then Thursday, it's practically morning, 12:20 first pitch. So that's what we're looking at in Braves country right now, and we'll be looking for, hopefully, we can continue our winning ways. The Braves doing their final warm-up toss with Schwellenbach. We've got the Schwell. If people can't make that out, it's Leave It to Beaver emoji in the chat for Schwellenbach. That he's saying something like, gee, that's swell or something like. Anyways, it's for his strikeouts. We wanted to have fun with it. We had that one last time, and I just like it more than the corn cob. The corn cob I think was kind of stale. We are going to be going up against this kid that I have not watched him pitch. Tried to find some video. It wasn't that great. So we're just going to all be surprised at the same time. Tonight it's Balazzo, and like I said, it's only his second start. So advantage Braves, but we'll take it for what it's worth. Atlanta opened at a -300 today, and then they have closed at, I think it was -225 is the last day. So it's come down quite a bit out in the desert. Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it is noted, because when we pull up the stuff as we go to call the game, it shows us the opening line and then the closing line. So anyways, here we go. We are just about set for pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Marlins in their gray pants, black tops, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Braves country. First pitch on the way is a fastball outside wide from Schwellenbach. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swung on, slapped against the shift. That'll dribble through the infield. And Xavier Edwards will do essentially what he did last night, which was lead off with a single to left field. Last night, the ball actually made it to left field. Tonight, it's a worm burner through the infield, but that's what you're going to end up getting when you got that shift like that. It looks like I said, this Xavier Edwards reminds me of Luis Arias with his batting style with just a little more speed. That'll bring Jake Berger to the plate. Berger takes the first pitch. Fastball right down the pipe, 96 miles an hour. It's 0-1. Marlins wearing their gray pants, black tops. Marlins across the chest, outlined in neon. The 0-1. Right there at the knees on the outer cut, it's 0-2. Atlanta Braves are wearing their Friday night reds, white pants, blue ball caps, Red bill with the classic A logo on the front. Top of the first inning. Braves, nothing. Marlins, nothing. Runner at first, nobody out. Schwellenbach comes set. Kicks and fires. In the dirt. Ball almost gets away. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Schwellenbach lifts the glove, and the runner goes. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. That runner's going to be, did he get him? That's a close one, but Merrifield, who applied the tag, didn't appear to think that he did get him. That was a lot closer than I expected. Good throw by Murphy. It was a bender, which is always more difficult. It does look like he just beat it. We don't have the slow down replay yet, but yeah, it looks like he just got in there. So one on, one out. If you're watching on the Braves cast, they have not updated their screen, but it wasn't out. There you go. Now we got it. The 1-2. Right there for a strike. So an 0-1 count to Sanchez. Third batter in the order. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield once again is on the shift. The 0-1. Fastball misses inside. 1-1. Sanchez comes in hitting .238 on the year. The 1-1. Swing. That ball's banged over to second. Easy play for Merrifield. He'll flip it over to first. And it's a 4-3 put out, 2 away. 2 down. That'll bring the cleanup hitter to the plate. Bride, who's playing first once again tonight. He's batting .267. A lot of these Marlins on the roster don't have a ton of at-bats because they've been called up as the Marlins have traded guys away. First pitch on the way is a slider off the edge. It's 1-0. Jonah Bride, 7 RBI, is .698 OPS. The 1-0. Slider misses down, 2-0. 2-0 count. Stowers looms on deck. The 2-0. 97 just misses down. Ball 3, 3-0. 3-0 count. Nothing your score. Top of the first, runner at third, 2 outs. Brave Schwellenbach delivers. Fastball up top, 96. About letter high, 3-1. Jonah Bride, Oklahoma kid, but played his college ball at South Carolina. The 3-1 pitch swung on that ball. It's hit high and deep, and that's not going to hold. It's 2-0 Marlins. He delivered a fastball on the inner cut, and he slammed it over the left field wall. Kind of laid it in there for him. That ball just got way too much of the plate, and the Fish take the early lead. Murphy was set up outside. That ball drifted back in. He throws a 4-seam, but that had some 2-seam action as it drifted back in. What you'll see from Schwellenbach is the first pitch on the way to Stowers is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. He throws a 4-seam, a slider, a cutter, a curve, a split, and a sinker. The 1-0 swung on, banged on the ground. That ball takes a nasty hop and gets into right field off the glove of Merrifield. Took a weird bounce. Wonder if it may have hit the lip of the infield as it got over there. It was a hard hit ball. No, it just took a high hop. Merrifield was in front of it, but that high hop gets into right field. They got runner at first, 2 outs. Schwellenbach, first pitch to Lopez is a swing and a miss strike, four-seam fastball. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. 96. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Otto Lopez, the batter, 226 hitter with 3 home runs, 19 RBI, a 563 OBS. He's going to call a quick timeout. Todd Tischer, your home plate umpire tonight, makes the signal. If you missed the intro, Austin Jones is at first, Carlos Torres at second, and Manny Gonzalez at third. The 0-2 in the dirt, bounced in front of Murphy. Good block by Murphy to keep the ball in front of him, and the runner will stay put. Schwellenbach laboring a bit here in the first inning. On deck is Gordon, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the nasty slider, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Marlins hit pay dirt. It's 2-0 Miami. We'll grab the sticks when we come back.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I could fall out of a tree and walk it off like it was nothing. Now, if I sleep wrong, I can't turn my head to the left for a whole week.
This is weak, man. Frank's trying to not pay me my winnings for the Skins beatdown I just issued him because his 401k's tanking. It's like, dude, you got to grab the reins, man. Do some analytics, do some research, and take charge so I don't have to subsidize your lack of golfing skills.
Well, then the night told, you moved your ball.
Frank, it was on the cart path. Why don't you try reading the rules, Shankopotamus?
If you don't like me, just say that. Okay, I don't like you. Why would you say that? It's so mean.
Never kiss mom on dad's birthday.
Armchair.
September 6, 1918. Far different from any incident that has ever occurred in the history of baseball was the great moment of the first World Series game between the Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox. As the crowd of 19,274 spectators stood up to take the afternoon yawn, the band broke forth to the strains of the Star-Spangled Banner as the ball players turned quickly about and faced the music. And when the final notes came, a great volume of melody rolled across the field. The onlookers exploded into thunderous applause.
The wartime crowd sang so enthusiastically that the performance was repeated at every game of the series. From then on, the song was an integral part of the national pastime. It did not become the official national anthem until 1931. The Red Sox won the World Series that year, beating the Chicago Cubs 4-2. One of the series stars was the young pitcher Babe Ruth, who had won both his starts, including a masterful 1-0 shutout. It was Boston's 4th World Championship in the decade.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler is a sweeper on the other edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Soler batting .236 on the year. The 0-1, righty-righty. Swing! Pops it up. Can of corn. It'll stay in the infield. Shortstop Edwards comes over, makes the catch, one away. One down. What we're looking at tonight with Belazzo, he's got a four-seam fastball, a sweeper, a cutter, a change, and a curve. First pitch on the way, 89-mile-an-hour four-seamer. It's 0-1. Not a hard-throwing pitcher. Tries to get through it with more control. He'll still lean on that four-seamer 45% of the time, the 0-1. Sweeper outside wide, 1-1. After that, the sweeper, cutter, and change are pretty even usage. 19, 18, and 15% respectively is the 1-1 pitch. Cutter misses outside, 2-1. And he'll toss in a curveball just to keep you honest at about 3% of the time. 2-1 count. Comes set. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's hammered over to third. And an Olay catch. My goodness. A one-hopper that was smoked over there to third. Rivera, the momentum of the catch took his glove up, and he somehow held on. 5-3 put out to away. I do think Atlanta's going to be able to get to this kid after watching him pitch. If they just take his time, because he's not going to blow them away. And that was a hard hit ball. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is a cutter outside. It's 1-0. As long as he doesn't get wide strikes called, we'll be okay. It looks like his cutter and his slider pretty comparable. The 1-0. Change up off the edge. Not a strike, but called a strike. 1-1. Well, there's our answer on that on Todd Titchener. We've seen him too many times. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Big difference there. I don't think Ozuna even swings at that pitch if it's 2-0. Infield is back into the left. The 1-2. Down below the knees. Good take, change up. 2-2. In his previous outings, he's been left in there 4 and 5 innings apiece, so this isn't like an opener. We're expecting him to go through the lineup at least twice. The 2-2. Swing! That ball's popped up high and deep, but not deep enough. It'll die in the glove of Stowers in left field, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. The Braves trail 2-0. We head to the top of the second.
Last night I dreamed I was a bottle of ketchup and you were mustard, which is weird because usually you're mayonnaise in my dreams. Why do you suppose that is?
Those who own dogs, you know that every time you come back from wherever you went, the dog is happy and it's jumpy and it wants to lick you in the face. Even if you just went to get mail from the mailbox, they delight in your return. If you want to take them out for a car ride, they're the first in the car. They jump in. They don't care where it's going, but they're going somewhere. They're some of the most joyous creatures that live among us. Dogs don't live as long as we do. Every single day a dog lives is equivalent to a week of your life. If they only get 1 day for every week you're alive, they make every day count. I'm just suggesting that their lives have already factored in their mortality. When I look at a dog, I use that as a reminder of how I should live every day of my life.
While the Angels now have their own stadium in Anaheim, they used to play their home games at Dodger Stadium. In the early 1960s, the Angels were a brand new team and had to share the stadium with the Dodgers because a dedicated field had not been built for them. Eventually, in 1966, the Angels got their own ballpark.
Who is he anyhow? An actor? No. A dentist? No. He's a gambler. Then added, he's the man who fixed the World Series back in 1919. Fixed the World Series? I repeated. The idea staggered me. It never occurred to me that one man could start to play with the faith of 50 million people with the single-mindedness of a burglar blowing a safe. How did he happen to do that? He just saw the opportunity. Why isn't he in jail? They can't get him, old sport. He's a smart man.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Spencer Schwellenbach goes back to work. The first pitch, swing and a miss. Curveball over the top, it's 0-1. Gordon, Rivera, Sanchez, the 7, 8, 9 hitters are due up. The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. 1-1 count. I see the question being posed, what is the terrible umpiring? What's up with the terrible umpiring this year about how bad these guys are? Is the 1-1. Swing, fouls it back, 1-2. I really believe a lot of it is we're more aware of how bad they're missing the zone because of the box that sits on your screen nowadays. The 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. I watch reruns of old baseball games all the time on the I think it's called an MLB channel. It's some kind of MLB channel on one of those free streaming services. Is the 2-2. Swung on, pops it up. Will it stay in play? Murph gives chase behind home plate, but it'll fall into the crowd. We'll do it again. But you'll watch those games and you see some wide strikes. I mean, some wide strikes in those old games. The 2-2. Swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. And I just think we are more aware of it nowadays because of it. The 2-2. Fastball caught, looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry, one away. Schwellenbach looking to get back to normal in this inning. Had a rocky first inning, gave up a 2-run home run. If you're just joining us. One down, top of the second. Rivera batting .207 stands in. The first pitch swung on, swatted back foul. It's 0-1. Rivera, 1 home run on the year. The 0-1. Sawed off foul. Fisted a sinker into the crowd. 0-2. An 0-2 count. The pitch on the way. In the dirt. 1-2. Rivera, 562 OPS. 28-year-old out of Puerto Rico. The 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. If you missed the pregame show, Grant Holmes will get the ball tomorrow, and it could be Max Fried by Sunday, the 2-2. Caught, looking strike 3. Got him with that slider. 2 away. 2 down. That was a knee-buckling slider. Sometimes you'll throw that slider to get him to chase it well out of the zone. Sometimes you do it to freeze him, especially the right-hander. The first pitch on the way. Swung on. Atom ball. Schwellenbach grabs it. That'll end the inning. So after a rough first, a 1-2-3 second, let's get Schwelly some runs, Braves country.
Y'all, I can't wait for my kids to move out and invite me over for dinner. I'm going to say I don't want that and throw some in the air fryer, eat 2 bags of chips, drink a whole bottle of water and leave it on the table, turn on all the lights and walk away leaving a complete mess behind me.
The longer you wait on the ball, the better you see it. The better you see it, the harder you hit it. The harder you hit it, the higher your average is. The higher your average is, the more money you make. And the more money you make, the more you're going to get laid.
In a 1947 college baseball game between Yale and Fordham, each team had a very notable player. The first baseman for Yale was future President George H.W. Bush, and the Fordham center fielder was legendary Dodgers announcer Vin Scully. H.W. Bush and Yale would go on to win the game 3-1. Who do you think had the most hits in the 1990s? Some names that may come to mind are Tony Gwynn, Ken Griffey Jr., or even Barry Bonds. The answer is actually Cubs first baseman Mark Grace with 1,754 hits in the 90s.
In 1919, no team played better than the Chicago White Sox, pennant winners in the American League, and few teams were paid as poorly or got along as badly. Players deliberately crossed each other on the field. During infield practice, no one threw the ball to second baseman Eddie Collins, Chicago's highest paid player, all season long. Teammate Chick Gandil had not spoken to Collins since 1915. I thought you couldn't win without teamwork, Collins said later, until I joined the White Sox. Yet somehow we won 100 games and the pennant that year. The White Sox were heavy favorites to beat the better paid but far weaker Cincinnati Reds in the World Series. The Chicago owner was the old Roman, Charles A. Comiskey, himself a former player, but now among the game's most parsimonious executives.
They were abused horribly by Charles Comiskey, who was a man of a small mind, a tight fist, and a nasty temperament. The climate was too good for it not to happen.
Welcome back. Schwellenbach with his cat-like reflexes, ending the top of the second inning with the line drive right back at him. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson as we lead off the bottom of the second. Four-seam fastball misses high and out of the zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Belazzo kicks and fires. 2-0. Cutter missed way outside. It's a 2-0 count. Olson batting .226 with a .722 OPS. The pitch. Swung on, pops it up. That'll bend well out of play. Matt Olson starting to heat up. The 2-1 pitch. Up top misses. 3-1. So a 3-1 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Belazzo brings it. Way outside wide, ball 4. We got ourselves a base runner here to start the bottom of the second inning. You don't get to say this much. That'll put one on for our hottest hitter. First pitch on the way, swung on, banged hard on the ground, right to third, and it's going to be a 5-4-3 put out. I'm glad I got that out as quick as I did. RC just gave that bat away. 2 down. 2 away. That'll bring Eddie Rosario to the plate. Rosario. Righty lefty. The pitch from Belazzo. Up top, grabs his own. It's 0-1. Diamondbacks lead the Pirates 5-0. That game is in the 4th. Royals 3-2 over the Tigers in the 5th. The 0-1. Outside wide 1-1. Brewers 3-2 over the Nationals. Yankees and Blue Jays are in a rain delay. The Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead in Cleveland there in the second. The 1-1 to Rosario. Changeup misses outside wide, 2-1. Giants and Reds are also in a rain delay. Later on tonight, you got the Red Sox at the Rangers, White Sox at Twins, Rays and Astros, and then the two teams we're really paying attention to, they're both out west. The 2-1 just grabs the outer edge, 2-2. The Mets are in Anaheim to take on the Angels at 9:38. And the Phillies are playing the Mariners at 9:40. If you don't have the baseball package, that game will be on MLB Network tonight. The 2-2. Really close pitch. Looked like it grabbed the edge. Full count. In fact, the hind catcher, Sanchez, jumped up. He was ready to head to the dugout. Belazzo, just at 22 pitches. We've had a couple of really quick at-bats here. The payoff pitch. Kicks and fires. Swung on, pops it back foul. Do it again. So a 3-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swung on and missed strike 3. Eddie Rosario blown away by that cutter 87 miles an hour on the outer edge, and that'll end the inning. He's got a no-hitter going. We'll be back in a flash heading to the 3rd.
Hey, quick question. And I feel stupid for asking, but when you're stirring up some do you go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Today we are discussing the career of George Brett. He is most known for the Pine Tar game that occurred on July 24th, 1983. He twice collected 4 hits in a postseason game. Even more impressive, he batted .370 in the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. This included his Game 7 4-for-5 performance. Overall, in the postseason, he batted .337 with a 1.023 OPS in 43 games. In 1980, he nearly became the first player to hit 400 since Ted Williams in 1941. On September 19th, with 13 games left, he went 2 for 4, raising his average to exactly 400. He won the American League MVP award in 1980. He finished with a 300 or better average in 11 of his 21 seasons. Over his 21-year career, he batted .305 with 317 home runs and 1,596 RBI. He had 3,154 hits and had a career WAR of 88.6. He was a 13-time All-Star, won 1 Gold Glove, and won 6 Silver Sluggers. He was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1999 with 98.2% of the vote.
It certainly was a kind of have and have not thing. The baseball players were very expendable. If you got hurt, you were gone. There was no pension or anything else like that. And they saw people making money hand over fist. The owners, in Comiskey's case, he owned the ballpark. He bottled his own soda in the basement. He was making a nickel on everything that went, that moved in that ballpark. And there they were, they were nicknamed the Black Sox even before they threw the World Series, because one year he started charging them for laundering their uniforms. And they went on strike by saying, okay, then we won't launder them. And they got dirtier and dirtier and dirtier until the sports writers called them the Black Sox. And then, in fact, Comiskey said, okay, I'll launder your uniforms. And then he took it out of their World Series bonus.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail this one 2-0. Xavier Edwards, the leadoff hitter, coming back to the plate here in the top of the third to lead it off. The first pitch on the way. 94-mile-an-hour fastball misses inside. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Schwellenbach delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Got to keep an eye on that pitch count, too. Schwellenbach already at 35 pitches with no outs here in the third. The 1-1 in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch right there at the knees. 2-2. Good splitter. Braves trail 2-0. Edwards going to take his time out. If you're just joining us, he got on once again with the slap single against the shift to the left. I don't know why they are putting a shift on him. He did it last night, too. He is not a pull hitter. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Good splitter by Schwellenbach, one away. I know there's the need for all these front offices to try to stick their fingers on every single play, but Xavier Edwards, I was looking at his splits earlier. He's not a pull hitter. First pitch on the way to Berger is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. And he's got speed, so you're also inviting the drop bunt or even the Baltimore chop to be put into play. That's essentially what he did his first time up. He just slapped it against the defense and kind of let the momentum on the ball do everything. The 0-1 swung on. That ball is ripped into left field. That ball's gone. The Schwellenbach hung another breaking ball, and it's 3-0 Miami. Solo shot by Berger, his 16th of the year. That ball traveled 418 feet, and the Braves trail 3-0. That was a cement mixer. It was about belt high, and it was over the plate on the outer edge, and just enough for Jake Berger to grab at it. First pitch on the way to Sanchez. He'll slap it against the shift, and it's a one-out single for the Fish. Braves 0, Marlins 3. That'll bring Bride up to the plate, and he hit a home run, a 2-run home run his last time up. Pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up. High in the sky, will it stay in play? It will not. Just past the third base dugout, 0-1. You'd love a double play here. First of all, get him back to the dugout to kind of regroup, but then also to keep his pitch count down. Bright is a double play candidate. Sanchez has some speed, so you got to keep an eye on him at first. The 0-1. The pitch. Fastball right down the pipe. 0-2. Schwellenbach, though he's given up the 3 runs, he does have 5 strikeouts. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. 1-2 count. Kansas City leads Detroit 3-2. Looks like they're heading to the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2 from Schwell. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 97 on the outer edge to away. His 6th strikeout of the night. If he could just rein back those 2 hangers that he put over the plate, we'd be in business. Two down. That'll bring Stowers to the plate, the left-handed bat. First pitch on the way. Fastball right there. 4-seamer on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty lefty. Swing and a miss. Splitter over the top, 0-2. Good pitch. So an 0-2 count. Righty lefty. Schwell brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. His 7th strikeout of the night. Now we got to get some runs. Murphy leads us off when we come back.
Hey, just a reminder, drugs don't ruin careers. Drug tests do.
Larry Bird never had a bad season. 3-time MVP consecutively. Only player in NBA history to do that. Only small forward to average 10 rebounds for his career. He's the only one. No flaws in his game. His peak was incredible. 24, 10, and 6 are his career averages on damn near 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. So not only was Larry a great scorer, but he was also a great facilitator, great passer, solid defender, and he was a hell of a rebounder. No flaws in his game.
There's a somebody out there for everybody. And the person for you is a psychiatrist.
She was probably, I'm sorry, can you stop breathing so loud, honey? He's like, breathe quietly.
Comiskey's first baseman, Chick Gandil, a former hobo and one-time club fighter, was tired of it. He was nearing the end of his career and wanted one shot at some really big money. For the right money, Gandil let it be known, he would be willing to talk some of his teammates into throwing the series. There was nothing new in working closely with gamblers to throw games. Many players supplemented their incomes that way. The brilliant infielder Hal Chase had made something of a career of it. But throwing the World Series was something else again. Still, Gandil was determined. And now, the right money was found. An ex-boxer, Abe Attell, and Sleepy Bill Burns, a one-time White Sox pitcher, served as go-between. But behind it all was New York's most notorious gambler, Arnold Rothstein, who was said to be willing to bet on anything except the weather, because there was no way he could fix that.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves trail this one 3-0. Still a long way to go. Sean Murphy leads us off. Righty-righty matchup. Balazzo just 24 pitches. First one on the way, pops it up. High in the sky, can of corn in the infield. Making the easy catch is Bride. Near the pitcher's mound, one away. You've never seen a guy before, and yet we have had 7 guys bat tonight. And 4 of them have swung at the first pitch. And I still contend that all comes down to the hitting coach. First pitch on the way to Kelnick. Outside wide for a strike. It's on 1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 76-mile-an-hour curveball misses. 1-1. Kevin Seitzer, I mean, at some point, he's got to wear some of this responsibility. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, change up over the top, 1-2. Marlins 3, Braves nothing. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Good changeup, 2 away. Two down. Whit Merrifield stands in. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way to Whit. 4-seamer up top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Palazzo kicks and fires. Down and away. 1-1. Said Max Scherzer went on the DL. That guy lives on the IL. I called that, what is it, a month ago? I was talking about when he first came back. I was like, I don't buy into him being back and he's healthy. The 1-1, high and inside, 2-1. All it takes is for him to get belted around one time, and he immediately puts himself on the IL. What a waste of money that contract was. The 2-1 pitch, inside, almost gets him, ball 3-1. So Merrifield trying to work his way to the board. Braves have had one base runner that was erased by the first pitch double play by Arcia. Merrifield trying to work his way on. The 3-1 from Balazzo. Inside, ball 4. They're going to check down the line, but he did not go. First base umpire, Austin Jones, confirmed it. Merry-go-round, heading down to first. 2 outs. Good to see everybody, even the latecomers. See D coming in. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler is inside for a strike. It's on 1. Brian jumping in. Good to see everybody. Bean. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's belted high and deep into center field. Going back. Making the catch right there before the warning track to end the inning. He just got underneath that one. We'll be back in a flash. We head to the top of the 4th, trailing 3-0.
I just remember, like, in 1998, when the internet blew up and everyone was all freaked out about it, and they were like, keep your information off the internet. And we were like, yeah, for sure. And, like, now, a stranger can literally just pull up to us in an alley and roll down the window, say our name, and we're like, oh, thank God. Can you take me to where I live?
Pete Schneider was a pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds from 1914 to 1918. On May 23, 1923, he had one of the greatest nights a baseball player can have. In that game, he was the starting right fielder for Vernon of the Pacific Coast League at Salt Lake City. In his first at-bat in the first inning, he hit a 2-run home run. Vernon batted around in the third, and once again, he would come up to the plate, this time with the bases loaded. With one swing, he unloaded them with a grand slam. In just 3 innings, he had 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. In the 4th inning, he again hit a home run, this time a 3-run home run. His next at-bat came in the 6th. He just missed another home run when he hit a double off the very top of the center field wall. In the 7th inning, he hit his 4th home run and 2nd grand slam of the game, raising his home run total to 4 and his RBI total to 13. Vernon would bat around again, and Schneider would come to the plate again in the 7th, this time with the bases empty. He hit another home run. His last at-bat came in the 9th. His last at-bat resulted in a fly-out to center field. He ended the game with 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. What a performance. Oh yeah, and his team ended up winning the game 35-11.
Rothstein was basically a guy who never gambled. He's known as a gambler, and he never gambled on anything in his life, which is why he got very, very wealthy. He only put money ostensibly gambling on things that he knew were a sure thing or that he had covered so well that there was no way that he couldn't make a profit. I don't think he really cared about sports. I think he really did cynically feel like, well, these guys are schmucks. They're going to be old men, and I'm still going to be making money off this game when they just have to pay to get into the stadium.
Welcome back. Spencer Schwellenbach, I don't know where I got Scott from, fires the first pitch. Fastball on the edge for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to the right-handed Lopez. Slider grabs the edge. 0-2. Otto Lopez, 25-year-old from the Dominican Republic. He's batting .225 this year with a .561 OPS. The 0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. Missed with that slider, trying to get him to chase again. 1-2 count. Schwellenbach kicks and fires. Swung on, chopper back to the mound. Schwell's got it, flips it over to first. 1 away. If you're just joining us, Schwellenbach has given up 2 home runs, but he's got 7 strikeouts. Braves trail 3-0. Still a long way to go, and first pitch on the way to Gordon is swung on, slapped over to second. Merrifield's got it, flips over to Olsen, quickly 2 down. I'm not going to lie, about a week and a half ago, you get down by 3 runs and you're starting to worry, but I don't have as much concern as I did before this offense. And it's going to get better when Harris gets back, and then, of course, when we finally bring back Ozzie. But 3 runs with the lineup we have out there tonight, it's not time to panic. First pitch on the way to Rivera. It's high and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped foul off the plate, 1-1. The 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing, hammered into left field. That's down for a base hit, and it's a 2-out single here in the top of the 4th. D says his youngest son is coming home from the Army. You got a party for him tomorrow. We'll make sure to thank him from all of Braves country for his service. I know you got to be excited for that. First pitch on the way, cutter in the dirt. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, 2-0. That applause was for D's son, not for the 2 pitches that Schwellenbach has missed out of the zone. So a 2-0 count. Top of the 4th, 1 on, 2 out. Thought he was going to get a really quick inning, but now he's starting to meddle around. The 2-0 pitch, swung on, chopped off the plate. 2-1. Braves trailed by 3. Sanchez, the number 9 hitter tonight. The 2-1 count. You want to go ahead and get rid of this and wait to see the top of the order in the top of the 5th. The 2-1 to Ollie Sanchez. Lets her rip, swung on. That ball is bounced towards third, but it'll go foul, slap up against the tarps. Jose Arena is pitching for Texas tonight against Boston. I can't see that guy without thinking about him and Acuna going back and forth over a couple of years. He kept on hitting him. The 2-2 swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. The 2-2 count. 1 on, 2 out. Schwellenbach. Time is called by Sanchez. The 2-2. Lets her go. Runner almost caught off of first base. Murphy fired it down to Olsen, trying to catch him napping, but he just got back in time. The payoff pitch. Brings it. Swung on, hammered down the third base line. Foul. No matter how you slice it, you got to come after him, because the last thing you want to do is walk this guy and then have Edwards up there in the top of the order with a runner in scoring position, especially the way he hits against the shift. The payoff. Swung on, chopped over towards short. Arcia's got it, flips it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out to end the inning. I'm pretty sure he chased ball 4. We'll take it all day long. Let's grab the bats and get some runs.
Here I was thinking I was copping some straight up gas, but now I'm looking at it, and it is obvious that I have been gas lit, dude. Because that is not good. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get lit off that gas, not gas lit.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. Every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive, but I see their wives and they just look like so, like, you know, like, not like this. I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up. And I just come to this realization today.
Shut up, Frank! Shut up! Let's go! Right, I haven't been here for 9 innings with you! Oh, they lose 1 game! They've lost 5! They've lost 5 out of last 6! They're falling apart! The Braves never lose!
Armchair.
The proposition to throw the World Series was first brought to me in New York City in front of the Ansonia Hotel. Chick Gandil came to me and said he wanted a conference. He asked me if anybody had approached me on the 1919 World Series with the purpose of fixing. I told him not yet. He asked me if it was fixed, would I be willing to get in and go through with it. I told him I would refuse to answer. Right then. Lefty Williams.
Gandil recruited 6 teammates. Pitcher Claude Lefty Williams. Outfielder Oscar Happy Felch. Third baseman Buck Weaver. Shortstop Swede Risberg. Right-handed pitcher Eddie Cicotti. And the idol of schoolboys all over the Midwest, Joseph Jefferson Jackson.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Austin Riley comes to the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Palazzo just at 36 pitches through 3 innings. Second time through the order, see if the Braves will make any adjustments. First pitch on the way to Riley. Just off the plate, wide cutter misses. It's 1-0. Austin Riley The 1-0 pitch. Outside wide, cutter misses 2-0. Riley's hit 296 the last week with an 840 OPS. The 2-0, Palazzo brings it. Swung on, sliced foul down the right field line. 2-1. Austin Riley, 27-year-old from Memphis, Tennessee. Drafted by the Braves in 2015. The 2-1 to the rake. Inside, check swing. 2-2. Did not want to make contact with that. He was trying to get out of the way. The ball sailed in. Just got his bat as he was trying to back off the plate. Bad luck strike. The 2-2 from Palazzo. Up top misses. Called for a strike 3. Another bad call by Todd Titchener, one away. Riley pretty upset with that, and I can't blame him. I mean, that was a terrible call. That was absolutely out of the zone. One down, and Marcell Ozuna stands in. Once again, you don't get any chirping from the dugout like you do with I don't know, 28 other teams. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Marcell Ozuna batting .302 with a .960 OPS. The 0-1. Inside. Four-seam fastball, 90 miles an hour, 0-2. Ozuna flew out in the first. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chase one out of the zone. Probably chased it out of the zone because of the terrible call by home plate umpire Titchener on Riley. Two down, and Matt Olson, who hasn't hit for a high average the past week, but he's got 5 home runs and an .870 slug. First pitch on the way, swung on, hammered down the right field line. It's 0-1. His OPS for the last week is 1273. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Outside wide, 1-1. 1-1 count. Olson walked his first time up on 5 pitches. The 1-1 swing, pops it up. Will it stay in play? It will not. It'll bend into the crowd, 1-2. Reds and Giants just got underway after their long rain delay. 0-0 in the first. Same score in Texas, Red Sox and Rangers. They're in the first as well. Ronaldo Lopez, they're going to skip his start this time go around just to be safe. He should pitch sometime next week. Grant Holmes getting the ball tomorrow. The 1-2. 2-2. Sunday, very good chance it'll be Max Fried. They just haven't made it official yet. We thought we were going to get him on Saturday, but that's been pushed back to 2-2. Cutter outside wide, ball 3-2. So a full count to Olson. Braves trail by 3. Palazzo, 50th pitch of the night, brings it. Swing, pops it up. Underneath it. Goes into the crowd. We'll do it again. It's just getting underneath that changeup. Second time this at bat. I think he's identifying he's just missing it. The payoff pitch, they set up high. Swing, that ball slapped down the left field line. It might have been a defensive swing. Kind of swung at the last second, but the way Titchener's calling this game, I don't think Olson trusted him to give him the right call. The payoff pitch, they set up high again. Swung on. That ball's lifted down the left field line. That ball slaps back foul. So another full count. Standing on deck is Arcia. The payoff pitch. Outside. Oh, my goodness. Titchener blew another call, called it strike 3. Olson letting him know about it, shaking his head, slamming down the bat. And once again, nobody from the Braves dugout doing a damn thing. We'll be back.
Today we're discussing the 1939 New York Yankees. They had 4 players with 100 or more runs. Every player in their starting lineup finished with double digits in home runs and doubles. They also had 4 players who finished with 100 or more RBIs. The most anyone in their starting lineup struck out was 81 times. Only 1 player had more strikeouts than walks. 5 players had an on-base percentage of 400 or higher. 5 hitters produced an OPS plus over 130. The Yankees' pitching was also great in 1939. Red Ruffing threw 233 innings with 148 ERA plus. Their bullpen ate up a lot of innings. Combined, Steve Sundra and Mariusa Russo threw 240 innings with an ERA below 2.75. That season, DiMaggio was incredible. He won the American League Most Valuable Player, batting .381 with a .671 slugging percentage, 30 home runs, and 32 doubles. Oh yeah, and he only struck out 20 times. In May of that year, they went 24-4, scoring 213 runs, or an average of 7.6 runs per game. By the end of May, they were already 6.5 games up in the American League. They won the American League by 17 games with a record of 106-45. In the World Series that year, they faced the 97-win Cincinnati Reds. The 1939 Yankees have the 6th best winning percentage of any team that won the World Series. They also have the largest run differential in baseball history at plus 411.
In 2 years, he had risen from a poor mill boy to the rank of a player in the major leagues. The ignorant mill boy had become the hero of millions. Out on the hot prairies, teams of Joe Jacksons battled desperately with the Ty Cobbs. There came a day when a crook spread money before this idol, and he fell. For a few dollars, he sold his honor. New York World.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to Schwellenbach is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. Biggest trade I like to see the Braves make in the offseason is send Snit out to the Angels so he can get a good nap and bring back Ron Washington. The 0-1. Kicks and fires in the dirt. 1-1. Xavier Edwards 1 for 2 with a single in the first. The 1-1 is in the dirt. 2-1. Two-one count. Schwellenbach brings it. Fastball right there at the knees. Didn't get that call. 3-1. Looked like it painted the bottom of the zone. The 3-1 pitch. Swing. Chops it over to first. Olson's got it. Flips it to Schwellenbach. Steps on the bag. 1 away. And I know I've mentioned this before, but you can't go by what the screen shows you on this feed of where the ball lands because they go off of what it was called. They don't go off of where the ball ends up. First pitch on the way to Berger is 96 off the plate. It's 1-0. Be interesting to see what Blake Snell does tonight for the Giants. He hasn't recorded a win because of the Giants' offense, but he in his last 4 starts has a .75 ERA. Pitch on the way, right there for a strike, just grabs the edge, 1-1. He's in Cincinnati taking on the Reds. The 1-1. Fastball right down the pipe, 1-2. A lot of folks thought that they were going to trade Blake Snell at the deadline. They decided to hold on to it. It's funny about the Giants. I mean, they must really have their eyes on someone in the offseason because they rarely sell at the deadline like they did with Soler. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice splitter. The Schwellenbach. So he's given up 3 runs. Now has 8 strikeouts. The first pitch on the way, chopped over to Olsen. He'll step on the bag, and that's what he's been needing is a quick inning. So we head to the bottom of the 5th. Let's get him some runs. Let's make this a game. We ain't got a hit yet. Let's go, Braves country.
I just want 2 minutes on my own without people irritating me.
If you were to make a list of games that Gen X got banned for future generations, you would probably start with Dodgeball, Jarts, and then right up there in the top 3 is Red Rover. Red Rover was a special game where you would have 2 teams lined up on opposite sides of each other and you would link arms and you would sing a little song. Now listen, if you were the fat kid, this is when you came in clutch. You went from the kid that nobody wanted other teams to the first round draft pick at recess. When your name gets called, it is your job to run top speed. Your only job was to get decimated. Kids would like break their wrist and dislocate their shoulders. Lots of concussions because you'd hit that double clothesline and just after recess, kids would be walking in like ice packs. One kid's walking like Vince McMahon, and you know he won Red Rover just by the way he's walking. Come back next week when I try to explain smear the without getting canceled.
A South Carolina country boy, he had learned how to bat from a Confederate veteran who had learned his baseball from Union soldiers in a northern prison camp. He had hoped to be a pitcher until he broke a batter's arm with a wild pitch. Jackson could neither read nor write, but he could hit. 408 in his rookie year. 356 lifetime, the 3rd highest average in history. His home runs were called Saturday specials because most of the textile workers' games in which he got his start were played on Saturdays. And he hit them with a special 48-ounce bat, Black Betsy, made for him by a local lumberman from the north side of a hickory tree, and darkened with coat after coat of Jackson's tobacco juice. Ty Cobb himself thought Joe Jackson the greatest natural hitter I ever saw. He was called Shoeless Joe because he was said once to have been spotted in the minors playing in his socks when new shoes proved too tight.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia has a cutter on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. You could have predicted that after Arcia hit into a double play on the first pitch he sees. He's going to take that first strike, the 0-1. Swung on, lifted high and deep into right center field with a, will it hold? It will not. That ball is gone. The Braves cut the lead 3-1. Orlando Arcia later continues his hot streak. His 11th home run of the year. Braves. The no-hitter's gone, the shutout's gone, and the first pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario. The swing and a miss strike, it's 0-1. Even that double play, I mean, I mentioned at the time, I hated the fact that he swung at the first pitch because he'd never seen the pitcher before. As the 0-1 pops it up high in the sky, it's going to be an easy out over by the dugout. One away. But the ball that he hit into that double play, that ball was smoked. If they didn't have the shift on over there, that would have been a double down the line his first at bat. But you still do. I mean, when you've never seen a guy before, I don't care what you've seen on the video, you got to take some pitches. Look, you know, there's only one way to see it, and that's at the plate and see it for yourself. We had 4 guys go one pitch out the first time through the lineup. First pitch on the way to Smurf. He was another one that did that. Is Inside for a ball, it's 1-0. The 1-0, righty-righty matchup. Swung on, that ball is lifted into center field. He chased that one well off the edge. He knew it. Slams the bat down. That won't bring the out back. 2 away. 2 down. Jared Kelenic will come to the plate. Maybe he can get something going here for the Braves. Braves trail just by 2 now. 1 hit in the game, that home run. Marlins have 6 hits, just 3 to show for it. First pitch on the way to Kid Kelenic is a curveball right there on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Off the edge. 1-1. 1-1 count. Bottom of the 5th. Kelenic's going to take his time out with 1 strike. Normally you see them do that with 2 strikes. He must not have liked what he's seen. The 1-1 to Kelenic. Lets her go. Misses up top. 2-1. That's when a good timed from the dugout. Why was that a damn ball? And the other ones have been strikes. The 2-1. Swing. That ball's hit into right field, but right at Sanchez to end the inning. Hard hit ball, but into the teeth of the defense. We will be back in a flash. Braves get 1 on the board. Trail by only 2.
Are you okay? No, but I am funny, so it works out.
I mean, why waste my time? Every single freaking year, I get myself juiced up with this stupid team, and at 43 years of age and 3 kids, enough already. Let them go hurt somebody else. I mean, when am I ever going to have a chance to win a lousy freaking champion? 1 time! Not 20! 1 lousy time! Gee whiz! Every single time! Ah, come on, will you please? Can you beat the Florida Marlins 1 time? The Mets, the lousy Mets did it to us every time. Win 1. I'll give it all back. I'll leave now. Okay, out of my system.
When Fred McMullen, Chicago's reserve infielder, got wind of what was happening, he demanded that Chick Gandil let him in on the fix. Now, 8 White Sox were involved, though Buck Weaver would later claim that he had not agreed to participate. The smart players demanded their money up front.
The meeting was held about 8 o'clock in the evening. I said, there's so much double-crossing stuff. If I win in the series, I wanted the money put in my hand. I went back to my room at 11:30, and the 10 grand was under my pillow. Eddie Siccotti.
Rumors of wrongdoing were everywhere. You couldn't miss it, one New York gambler said. The thing had an odor. I saw smart guys take even money on the Sox, who should have been asking 5-1. Chicago sports writer Hugh Fullerton was joined in the press box by an ailing Christy Mathewson to judge if everything was on the up and up. Mathewson and Fullerton would quickly see that it was not.
Everybody in the game knew it was happening. Nobody was even pretending that it wasn't happening. No one was admitting it out loud for the public. How could you admit it for the public? What would that mean?
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Schwellenbach goes back to work. 75 pitches in, so this could be the last inning for him. First pitch was a strike, the 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. That was in a very appropriately timed clip that we had. If y'all not aware of who that is, that's Mad Dog Russo, and that was before as the 0-2 swatted away, foul. That was just before. He's a lifelong San Francisco Giant fan, and that was before the Giants, as the 0-2, down and away, 1-2. Won those 3 World Series back in 10, 12, and 14 of the last decade. I want to say that was 08 or 09. So it was somewhere in that neighborhood. The 1-2, swung on, pops it back foul. But just because he's complaining about the Marlins and Mets is why we have it, and then we're sitting here trailing to the Marlins, and he's going off, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three, got him with the splitter, one away. He's used that splitter a little more tonight than usual, and I don't know if that's because it's working much better than a couple of others pitches, or if he's just really starting to get used to it. That's one of the newer pitches that he brought up or developed while he's been up with the big club. First pitch on the way. Curveball. Slaps the paint inside. It's 0-1. Stowers showed bunt but pulled it back. Speaking of the Giants, they just took a 1-0 lead in Cincinnati there in the second. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, hit hard on the ground. Diving stab by Merrifield. He'll flip it over to first. A 4-3 put out, 2 away. Good defensive play by Merrifield. Whit Merrifield, as long as he stays healthy, he'll be your everyday second baseman until Ozzie Albies comes back. 2 down. When Ozzie comes back, you would imagine he's going to stay on the team because he can also play outfield. First pitch on the way, four-seam fastball. Right there for a strike, it's 0-1. At that point, you would have to guess, assuming health, is the 0-1 down and away, 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires. 2-1. Ball way inside. You would think at that point it would be Williams that will be sent back down to the farm. I'm still interested to see is the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards Olsen. He's at a backhand throw against his body. Good throw, even better catch by Schwellenbach. He tags the bag with his toe, and that'll end the inning. Wow, 3 up, 3 down. We got 1 hit, 1 run. Let's get some more, Braves country.
I would like your undivided attention, please.
You couldn't handle my undivided attention.
Does Dale Murphy belong in the Hall of Fame? He led the National League in games, at-bats, runs, hits, extra base hits, RBIs, runs created, total bases, and plate appearances in the 1980s. He went to 7 All-Star games and won 5 Gold Gloves in a row. He also won 4 Silver Slugger Awards in his career. He led the National League in home runs twice, RBIs twice, slugging percentage twice, and OPS once. Only Mike Schmidt hit more home runs between 1980 and 1987. Only Ricky Henderson scored more runs. Only Schmidt and George Brett had a better slugging percentage. Only Schmidt, Brett, and Eddie Murray had a better OPS plus. The only other back-to-back MVP winner outside of Cooperstown is Roger Maris.
You gonna quit drinking? Don't be ridiculous. I'm gonna quit waking up.
To boost their gate receipts, the owners decided that the 1919 World Series would be a best-of-9 game contest. The first game was held in Cincinnati. Eddie Cicotte, ordinarily a master of control, hit the first batter in the back. Then he threw wild, bobbled a grounder, ignored his catcher's signal. Swede Risberg ruined an easy double play by failing to step on the bag. Joe Jackson threw wide from the outfield and seemed to slow down to miss balls near him. Cincinnati won 9-1.
This contest between the Reds and the White Sox is something that is concentrating the nation's attention and its faith. It was visible from the very first pitch, the first game, when the signal was put in, and Eddie Cicotte hit the first batter, and that was the signal to the gamblers that the fix had worked. The only thing the gamblers did wrong with that series, from their own perspective, is that they made the mistake of letting the Reds win the first game, because that drove the odds down. And if the White Sox, the Black Sox, had won the first game, Rothstein and his cohort would have made a hell of a lot more money.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way to lead us off here in the bottom of the 6th to Whit Merrifield is a high strike. It's out of the zone. Whit kind of shakes his head. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there at the knees. 0-2. So the simple fact of the matter, if you're watching this, listening along, both of those pitches can't be strikes because one was high out of the zone, one was at the very bottom. The 0-2 pitch, swing, that ball is slapped into right field. That is going to get down for a base hit. That's what we call karma, baby. Here comes the merry-go-round. He's heading for second. No, he's going to make the turn. He's heading for third. He's in there, baby! The merry-go-round goes around and round. It's a leadoff triple. Let's go, Braves country. He kept going, man. He's got some speed. I didn't realize Merrifield still had those kinds of wheels. They're going to go out there and talk to Belazzo, and that's it for him. I think regardless, that was going to be it for him. They didn't want him to see the order a third time through. Honestly, the kid pitched pretty well. If you're a Marlins fan, you got to be happy about that. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves will bring the tying run to the plate here in the 6th.
Anybody else just kind of feel like their check engine light is on and you're just like, nah, this is fine?
The amount of people who stand in the absolute middle of the aisle in the grocery store. What are you doing? Pick a side. I hate you.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
Somebody just came up to me and asked me what I do for a living. I said, mind my damn business. They hiring too. You want me to get you an application?
Cincinnati took the 4th game 2-0 behind the superb pitching of Jimmy Ring. Eddie Cicotti had pitched well for the Sox, but once again, he made several devastating errors in the field.
There is no alibi for Cicotti. He pitched a great game, a determined game, and one that would have won 9 times out of 10. But he brought the defeat crashing down upon his own head by trying to do all the defensive work. He made the wild throw that gave the Reds their opening, the only real one they had. And he followed that up by grabbing a ball thrown from the outfield and deflecting it past the catcher. A high fly to left, blown by the wind over the head of Jackson, who was playing close in, followed in Chicago.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Anthony Bender coming on, the right-hander to face Jorge Soler. Tying run, standing at home plate. Merrifield at third, nobody out. First pitch on the way to Jorge. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Marlins 3, Braves 1. Bottom of the 6th, the pitch. Outside wide, 1-1. One thing you do have to take into consideration with the Marlins is they traded away their closer at the deadline. He was one of the best closers in baseball, so the 1-1 swung on, foul back out of play. We'll do it again. Be interested to see who they go to in the closing role. The 1-2 swung on, chopped foul. Just got a piece of that one to stay alive. Do it again. A 1-2 count, righty-righty matchup. Standing on deck is Austin Riley, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, Jorge Soler. Man, he is ice cold since he coming over. 1 away. He'd been hitting pretty well before he came over in that trade. Started off slow, and then the last month and a half, he'd been hitting the ball pretty well. And he might just be squeezing the bat a little too tight, really trying to do something for Braves country here on this homestand. First pitch on the way to Austin Riley is swung on and fouled back. Sweeper, hanging sweeper. It's 0-1. That's one of those pitches that Riley, he times that up right. We're tied. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. That's a nasty sweeper by Bender. 0-2. Fitting last name for this guy. Anthony Bender. He's been in the league a while. We've seen him several times before. 29-year-old. Drafted by the Royals in 2016. The 0-2. Way outside wide. That ball almost gets to the backstop. That could have gifted us a run. Riley, really, I mean, all you really got to do is make contact. As long as you don't strike out here, the run should score. The infield is back. Same thing with what Soler had in front of him. The 1-2. Outside wide. Sinker misses. He's got kind of a funky delivery from the right side. It's one of the bad things about our lineup right now. Without Harrison, without Ozzie, you have a very heavy right-handed lineup. The 2-2. Swing. That ball's chopped in between home and third, but it'll roll foul. We'll do it again. Anthony Bender is in his third season with the Marlins, 21, 22, and then 24. Was not in the league last year because of injury. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped over towards second. That will get the run home. And Whit Merrifield comes home. We got us a one-run ball game. That's how you do it. Good job, Austin Riley. Don't have to get it all back at once. We got a one-run game. The Marlins bullpen that's depleted. Just got to keep chipping away. Find a way to score those runs. 2 down. The Big Zoo will come to the plate. Marcell Ozuna 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch. 99 drifts inside. That sinker's got some crazy motion on it. 99 miles an hour. It's 1-0. It's 99 miles an hour, and it dives in on you. Kind of surprised he's not the closer. The 1-0. Right there for a strike. 1-1. They may be doing a closer by committee, meaning depending on where we are in the lineup is who they'll send out there to the mound. The 1-1 lets her go. Swing and a miss. 1-2 sweeper. They're calling it a sweeper. It's got a really sharp cut to it. It really looks more like a cutter. And that sinker, high velocity, and it just dives in under your hands. The 1-2 to the Big Zoo. Bender brings it. Swing. Pops it up. Foul down the right field line. Into the stands. Well into the stands. Do it again. 1-2. Braves 2. Marlins 3. Bottom 6. The 1-2. Outside wide. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. They check down the first base line. Austin Jones says no dice. Deuce is wild here in Atlanta. The 2-2. 2 outs. 3-2 the score. Caught looking strike 3. Sinker on the outer edge. And Ozuna is giving the business to Titchener. We'll see if anything comes of this, but I can't blame him. It was on the outer edge. The only thing I will say about that, with 2 strikes, you got to swing the bat on that one. It's too close.
This is Lou Brissy, And the fact that most of you don't know who he is a travesty. Before he could fulfill his childhood dream and play in the major leagues, World War II happened, and by 1944, he was serving as a squad leader in G Company, 351st Infantry Regiment, 88th Infantry Division. On December 7, 1944, the place he was stationed near Florence, Italy, was attacked by an artillery barrage. 8 men went down. 20-year-old Captain Lou Brissy was one of them. An artillery shell had broken both of his feet and shattered his left tibia and shin bone in 30 places. Shrapnel was also stuck in his shoulder, both hands, and both thighs. Barely conscious, he laid there in the snow and mud until medics arrived. The medics' first thought was to amputate, but Lou wouldn't have it. Amputating his leg would end any chance he would have of playing baseball for the Athletics. Doctors would persist, saying that he could pass away, but his mind never wavered, and he told them that he would take his chances. Fast forward 2 years. Lou has now gone through 23 surgeries and had 40 blood transfusions. His leg is reconstructed with hardwire, and it has a metal plate protector. During this time, Connie Mack, manager of the Athletics, would write him reminding him that healing was his main priority. Once he was healed, Mack assured him he would get a tryout with the team. The Athletics would sign him and send him to play for the Savannah Indians, where he would lead the league in wins, strikeouts, and earned run average. Eventually, he would be called up, and his dream of playing professional baseball would come true. Bob Feller said that without World War II, Lou Brissy would have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now you know the story of Lou Brissy. Do me a favor and share it with someone who you know loves baseball and doesn't know the story.
At a meeting in New York City, Ward helped found the Brotherhood of Professional Baseball Players. It was the players' first attempt to organize, and they were determined to abolish the hated reserve clause. But Albert Goodwill Spaulding and the other owners would not give an inch. In 1889, they tried further to consolidate their power by setting an absolute salary cap of $2,500, then added insult to injury by charging the players rent for their uniforms. It was the last straw.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is a cutter that's banged over to second. Merrifield's got it, flips it to Olsen. 4-3 put out, one away. Gordon, Rivera, Sanchez, the 7, 8, 9 batters due up in this inning, so that'll bring the number 8 hitter Rivera to the plate. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch on the way. Down and out of the zone. 1-0. Ball gets away from Murphy, but with nobody on, he didn't. He's like, let someone else go chase that damn thing. 1-0 count. Schwellenbach brings it, swung on, banged over towards third. A 5-3 putout. Riley with the nice play. He had to come in and charge that, scoops it, fires it over to first, 2 away. I was playing the baseball game the other day, the MLB The Show. I don't get a chance to do it much, but I got to play it. And they had a chopper come down the third base side to Riley as the first pitch on the way is chopped off the plate. It's 0-1. And this shouldn't have bothered me, but it bothered me. it was a two hopper, and they had him barehanded, and he kicked the ball. The 0-1, down away, 1-1. I'm like, I was sitting there just raising Cain with it. I was like, are you kidding me right now? That guy is always making those plays. I see it night after night after night. They don't even give Braves respect in the video games. The 1-1, swing and a miss over the top, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. I'm convinced the only reason why Ozzie Albies isn't fast in that game is because he's an Atlanta Brave. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, Schwellenbach really did pitch a swell of a game. That's the 7th inning. He will end most likely with 10 strikeouts, double-digit strikeouts back-to-back. Get up and stretch, Braves country. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th, just trailing by 1.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Me out to the ball game. Me out to the find me something up scratch down. I don't care if I have to get back going.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Matt Olson will lead this one off. I figure we're going to see this Andrew Nardi guy. This guy, left-hander, he's pretty nasty. Which means you've got Olson. Arcia is the first pitch on the way, swung on, chopped over to second. Olson just gave that a bat away. 4-3, put out one down. So now you've got Arcia and Eddie Rosario. You got to figure they're going to put Eddie on the bench. Really doing us a favor, to be honest, because he's swinging such a light bat right now, and yet he's hitting 7th in the order. Makes no sense. First pitch on the way to Arcia is high and inside. It's 1-0. If you're just joining us, Orlando Arcia hit his 11th home run tonight. Put the Braves on the board, and then we got another one with a triple from Merrifield. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 95 up top, 1-1. You like this matchup. As hot as he's been swinging the bat and a lefty on the mound, hopefully Arcia can take advantage. The 1-1. Swing. Pops it back foul. 1-2. Braves 2, Marlins 3. Bottom 7. The 1-2 from Nardi. Southpaw comes set. High and inside. 95 miles an hour, about helmet high. Touch over the plate, 2-2. The 2-2. Down below the knees, ball 3, 3-2. So a full count. The pitch to Orlando. High and out of the zone, ball 4. That's how we want to get started here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 on, 1 out. Eddie Rosario will go take his seat on the bench, and here comes Adam Duvall. Stottlemyre will go out there and talk to him. He can't pull him yet, though. Cannot pull Nardi because he's got to face 3 batters. So no matter how he looks at it, he's going to have to face Duvall. And Smurf stands on deck. So you got 2 righties now due up. If it gets down to Kelnick and it's a tough spot and they leave Nardi out there, they'll probably go to the bench for Laureano, and then Miami will probably go to a right-hander. So it's really pick your poison at that point. Adam Duvall comes to the plate. Batting 186 with a 580 OPS. First pitch on the way, swung on, pops it up. Foul back into the crowd. It's 0-1. Pirates have come back to take the 7-6 lead over Arizona. Wow. Arizona was pounding the Pirates. The 0-1, swing and a miss, slider over the top. 0-2. Royals all over the Tigers 9-2. That game is in the 8th. Brewers 6-3 over the Nationals in the 7th. Blue Jays have taken a 3-2 lead over the Yankees. That game is in the 2nd after a long rain delay. The 0-2 from Nardi. Duvall stands in. Pitch down and in. 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Always good to see Sam in here jinxing the Marlins. The 1-2. Inside, ball 2, 2-2. Braves 2, Marlins 3, 1 down, 1 on. Adam Duvall representing the go-ahead run. RC at first, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Duvall blown right by him, just above the letters, 2 away. 2 down, and Sean Murphy will come to the plate. Murph 0 for 2 on the night. Lefty, righty, first pitch. 95 down the pipe. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. 95 up top. 1-1. What we're seeing from Nardi, he's throwing high gas and then trying to switch it up with the sliders way down low. The 1-1 for Murphy. To Murphy, excuse me. Pitch on the way. Inside, 95, 2-1. Sean Murphy, 0 for 2. A pop out to fly. Hasn't had a good night tonight, but he has been swinging the bat better of late. The 2-1 count. Lets her go. Swing. Fist it foul into the crowd. 2-2. Boston has tied it up in Texas. It's 3-3 there in the 4th. Urena's getting smacked around. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3-2. So Arcia will be going on the pitch. The same token, you've got Kelnick on deck. It'll be interesting to see how the Braves play this. Looks like he's going to take swings no matter what, so we'll see how this works out. The payoff pitch. Swung on him, missed, strike 3. Well, we'll never find out. That'll end the inning. Murphy can't come through. We'll head to the top of the 8th, trailing by only 1.
Ted Turner took over ownership of the Braves in 1976, a season in which they finished last in the National League West. At one point, they were so bad they lost 13 consecutive games. But this didn't faze Turner, who had high hopes for the 1977 season. Unfortunately, reality set in, and shortly after the start of the season, the Braves found themselves in a 16-game losing streak. So how is Ted Turner going to turn around a team that was headed further and further down the standings? He took matters into his own hands, literally. He told the press that Braves manager Dave Bristol was on a scouting trip, and he would be taking over managerial duties on May 11th, a day when the Braves were facing off against the Pirates. It went about as well as you think it would. Not knowing any of the signs, he had to sit next to coaches and tell them what signs to relay to players. The Braves wound up losing the game 2-1 for their 17th straight loss, putting them 8-22 in the season. Turner's goal was to be in the trenches to get to the bottom of what was wrong with his struggling team. The next day, Turner received a letter from National League President Chub Feeney telling him that his first game as manager would be his last, but why? According to Rule 20E, no manager or player on a club shall directly or indirectly own stock or any other proprietary interest or have any financial interest in the club by which the manager or player is employed except under an agreement approved by the commissioner. With Turner out and Bristol on his trip, another Braves coach, Vern Benson, took over managerial duties for the next game and ended the Braves' losing streak with a 6-1 victory over the Pirates.
With the help of several would-be owners, Ward and the Brotherhood started a rival league, the Players League. At first, the new league did well. 56 top players defected to its teams and brought their fans with them.
I am for war without quarter. I want to fight until one of us drops dead. From this point on, it will simply be a case of dog eat dog, and the dog with the bulldog tendencies will live the longest. Albert Goodwill Spaulding.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Thanks for the heads up there, Dave. But I didn't realize we hadn't taken that down. Please like and subscribe today and join the Country Club. We head to the top of the 8th. Aaron Bummer comes on. Braves trailing by just 1. First pitch on the way. Swung on, banged over to short. RC has to go to his knees. Fires it, and that ball's going to ricochet off the dugout. It will stay in play. So it'll be Most likely an E6, but we'll see how they play that because that was a tough shot. He had to come off his knees and fight. That was a bad throw. But once again, a tough play. I don't even know if he gets that. That'll probably be an infield single. If he got it, it would have been by a hair. So that'll bring Berger to the plate. He's got a home run on the night. First pitch, swing and a miss at the sweeper. It's 0-1. See y'all talking about giving d'Arnaud the full-time. There is no full-time job as a catcher in a Braves country. They will always platoon that. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. d'Arnaud will be in there tomorrow because of the day game. Or, excuse me, he'll most likely be in there tomorrow, and then Murphy back at it Sunday because of the day game. The 1-1, fouled away, 1-2. You got to realize d'Arnaud is getting up there in years, and there's just no way that you're going to put him as an everyday 4 times, 5 times a week catcher. It's very rare in today's baseball anyways. The 1-2, fastball, runner goes. Man, he stole that. My God. Not only did he not have to slide, he was sitting there eating a sandwich when he got down to second base waiting for the throw. That was a huge lead. Huge jump. There was no chance of Murphy getting that one. That was all on Bummer. The 2-2, runner in scoring position. Pitch on the way. Swung on, pops it up. Braves just got to keep this one close. Remember, they have not had a closing opportunity since they made the trade at the deadline, getting rid of one of the top closers in baseball. Non-closers closing can get dicey. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the sweeper. 1 away. One down, runner at second. Rangers are now trailing the Red Sox 6-3. They still got Urena in there, too. I don't know what they're doing, but Rays have taken a 2-0 lead over the red-hot Astros. Twins 4-2 over the White Sox in the 4th. Later on tonight, you got the Mets at the Angels and the Phillies at the Mariners. Helsley will come in to pinch hit for Sanchez. First pitch on the way is well outside for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Kicks and deals. 94 right down the pipe, 1-1. It's about that time to turn back time. We'll squeeze these in as we go along. Runner at second, 1 out. On deck is Bride. Bummer turns around. Chase the runner back to second. It's a good idea because Edwards could be thinking about swiping third, and then you would only need a fly ball or a number of different ways to score from third on 1 out. The 1-1. Sweeper misses below the knees, 2-1. 2-1 count. Not putting Lopez on the IL is the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss over the top, 2-2. And bringing someone up to put in the bullpen in his spot really hamstrings you because in a normal circumstance, Bummer wouldn't be in the ball game, down by 1 in the 8th. The 2-2. Bummer comes set. Lets her go. Sweeper just misses outside. Full count. So he's either going to come in with that sinker or he's going to try to get him to chase the sweeper. You do have a base open in theory. The payoff pitch. Swung on, chopped back over the mound. Backhanded by Merrifield. He'll fire it over to first. Good athletic 4-3 put out, 2 away. When Bummer came over that trade in the offseason, that was the main thing that he was being heralded for, is that he is a ground ball pitcher, and they wanted that in the late innings. But once again, if Holmes was available right now, that's who would be in the ball game right now. But being a man down essentially because Lopez is the first pitch on the way. There's a sinker right there at the knees. It's 0-1. Lopez most likely won't pitch until early or middle of next week. Is the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Curveball, 0-2. So you got to try to piece these games together when you don't have the lead. You're not going to use your back end guys like the Jimenez and the Mentors per se. The 0-2 pitch swung on, chopped down the line. Tell you one thing, Bummer or someone needs to alert Bummer, needs to keep an eye on the fact Edwards is getting a huge lead down the line on the left-hander. He's got his back to him. That could be a big deal because that ball just barely gets away. He's going to score. The 0-2. Did he go around? He did. Strike 3. Murphy gets it, flips it over to Olsen as the ball got away, and that'll end the inning. That ball got away, and just about the time that Murphy touched the ball, Edwards crossed the plate. But 3 outs, we're out of the inning. We'll be back in a flash.
Are you an adult?
Yeah.
And you have some time to relax?
Yeah.
Introducing slouching.
What's that?
Everyone knows that good posture is one of the best things that you can do for your body. But that's no fun, is it?
Wait a minute.
That's right, idiot. Whether you're sitting, laying down, or even standing, you insist on having the posture of a twisted gremlin, and you've given yourself lifelong issues because of it.
Okay, please let me fix this.
Sure, let's visit the doctor.
Yeah, so I'm having pain in my hips, my lower back, my neck, and sometimes my shoulder.
Okay, you are... Try it today.
What's the accent of Brazil?
It's a country in South America. Why don't we say any Latin American accent will do?
American, okay.
Okay, homie. Orale,
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, man. Nachos.
Yeah.
A real racist with it, huh?
Yeah, that is extremely racist. And by the way, that's more of a Los Angeles sort of Mexican cholo vibe.
Let's go. Let's go see the Dodgers play the Lakers.
What's your favorite jersey in all of sports?
The Atlanta Braves whites. I don't know if they got like HD white, but for some reason every time they were playing, they're like, don't they look brighter than everybody else's?
Old school Houston Astros jersey. Old school Houston Astros jersey. I'm going to be biased to the hometown team, so I'm going to go baby blue Atlanta Braves.
Lovely evening in New York. Lovely evening to get the heck out of here. We fly back to Chicago right after the game. Boy, those Indians knew what they were doing. Swings and he misses. When they sold this New York City for $14 and 3 bottles of hooch, that was probably the best deal anybody ever made.
3 big leagues, the National League, the Players League, and the Old Beer and Whiskey League.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Braves trail by 1. We head to the bottom of the 8th. On this date, 1907, the Washington Senators' 19-year-old rookie right-hander, Walter the Big Train Johnson, makes his major league debut. He lost to the Tigers and Ty Cobb 3-2, but gets the first hit. Ty Cobb gets the first hit off the future Hall of Fame with a bunt single. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is outside wide. He tried to drop down a bunt. It's 0-1. Calvin Faucher is in on the game, a right-hander with a 2.95 ERA, 43 strikeouts versus 19 walks. On that day, Ty Cobb gets the first hit off the future Hall of Fame Walter Johnson with a bunt single as the 0-1 in the dirt. Gets away 1-1. Walter Johnson will finish with 417 wins, 279 losses, while combining an ERA of 2.17 in his 21 years. The 1-1, down and away, 2-1. The 2-1 count. Cutter misses inside. He did not go around, says third base umpire Manny Gonzalez. Ball 3-1. So you'd love to get him on base. Get something going here. Braves trail by only 1. The 3-1 to Kelnick. Misses high, ball 4. That's how you get an inning started. 1 on, nobody out. Kelnick will head on down to first, and merry-go-round with Merrifield, who hit a triples last time up. Comes to the plate. I wonder if they may try to bunt Merrifield here this late in the game, or they'll let him swing away. First pitch on the way. He does show bunt. That pitch is down outside part of the zone. Called for a strike. It's 0-1. Man, Rivera was charging hard. Merrifield ought to think about showing bunt and then just hammering the ball. He might take his eye teeth out. The 0-1. Misses high, 1-1. Sinker, 95 miles an hour, well out of the zone. A 1-1 count. Falcher comes set, drops the bunt. It will stay. A good bunt, really good bunt. They'll underhand throw to first. It's going to be a 3-4 put out. First baseman Bride paused for a second. It almost cost him the base. It's a really good bunt by Merrifield. I don't know enough about him and his career if he's always been a good bunter, but that was a very good bunt. Soft bunt that just drops in the grass. That could be very useful going down the stretch. Runner at second. First pitch to Soler. Pitch on the way. Swung on. That ball's going to get through. Jorge Soler slams in right field. Here comes Kid Kelnick. He is safe. And your Atlanta Braves have tied it up, baby. 3-3. Soler power. I guess that's not really power, but it's a good excuse to use the emoji. Jorge Soler comes through and gets Kid Kelnick. Good piece of hitting there. They had the infield back into the left, and he just slapped it through the right side. Inside out swing. That was intentional. That wasn't one of those, just got lucky. He intentionally aimed for that side, and that's what you love about Jorge. That'll bring the first pitch on the way. Is down and away. Did he go around? They checked down the first base line. He did not. It's 1-0. Laureano's going to come on and pinch run for Soler. Talked about this before, but it's not just because he's got good speed and he'll play they're trying to limit Jorge's innings defensively because he has not played defense until he came to the Braves. The 1-0. Right there at the knees for a strike. It's 1-1. Last year he played about 32 games. 270 innings, I think, is what they said. But this year, he's been just the designated hitter in San Francisco. The 1-1. Swing! That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. It comes off the wall. They'll play it off the hop, and Austin Riley hits a double. Laureano had to hold up. So Ramon Laureano is at third. This isn't one of those ones that we want to blame Tui at third for. Laureano had to hold up. I mean, I really thought the question was going to be if it was going to be out or not, but I get why Laureano held up. By the time the ball came off the wall, Laureano realized it was fair. He had no shot of scoring. If he's going that whole way, he's going to have a chance, but you totally get why he was holding up on that. They're going to go out there and talk to Falker, Faucher. I'm going to call him Faucher because that's dangerously close to something I shouldn't say on radio. Marcell Ozuna comes to the plate. So he's got a conundrum here because does he pitch around Ozuna? If he does, the left-handed bat and hot bat of Matt Olson comes to the plate. But obviously we know if he goes after Ozuna, you're asking for problems. They're going to have to bring the infield. I'm a little surprised they don't just walk Ozuna to set up the double play, but they may try to get him to chase the first couple of pitches and then put him on. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is down and away. Sweeper misses. It's 1-0. Prophet's asking if we can win the division. We're within 6 games now, Prophet. It's not that we've been playing particularly well. Philly's been scuffling. The 1-0. Inside 2-0. It's possible. I still don't care about it. I care more about just getting a playoff spot and a home playoff spot. You want the top wild card seed, if nothing else. And I kind of be interested to see what this team would look like if they didn't have to take that long break. The 2-0. Swing! That ball is belted high and deep. Going back on the track. Making the catch at the 385 mark, but that is going to give your Atlanta Braves a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Wowza! That was just a couple of feet away from being a 3-run game. Instead, we take the 4-3 lead. They're going to intentionally walk Matt Olson now, and you can understand why. So Olson will take first, and Orlando Arcia, look, he's been hot himself. You'd love to get some breathing room. So I don't think Iglesias will be available in the 9th. So you could have Minter, you could have Jimenez. Once again, what we were talking about before, closer's not closing. First pitch on the way. Down and away, it's 1-0. I guess a better way to say it is non-closers closing. We know Minter is an absolute train wreck as a closer. So hopefully it's not him. The 1-0. Swung on, chopped off his instep, 1-1. Giants have taken a 3-0 lead over Cincinnati there in the 5th inning. Once again, Snell must be pitching a gem. Red Sox have taken a 7-3 lead. Braves have taken a 4-3 lead here in the 8th, once trailing 3-0. Kept chipping away, and here we are. The 1-1 swing, and that ball's lifted into center field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Your Atlanta Braves have taken a 5-3 lead. Wow. And I think the most surprising thing about that, the Ice House goes first to third. We've got runners on the corners, 2 outs. Orlando Arcia's hit parade continues. He didn't hit that ball well, but he got just enough of it. A lot of top spin, and it got down quick, and he knew it. Five to 3 your score. First pitch on the way. Down and away. To Adam Duvall, it's 1-0. Can't remember who made the comment earlier, but whoever it was your favorite batter, Adam Duvall's at the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Braves have put 3 across. The 1-0. Right there at the knees. 1-1. Man, one swing could really blow this wide open. It is Jimenez warming up in the bullpen. Now, for those of y'all who didn't follow his career, he was a closer in Detroit before he came to Atlanta. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Reason why I say what I say about Minter, his splits are ridiculous. When he's trying to close the game, his ERA is like 11. When he's not trying to close the game this year, his ERA is below 2. The 2-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, chops it foul. We'll do it again. So a 2-2 count. And I guess to that point, the 2-2. Lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We'll see if we can figure out the scoreboard. We'll have to restart it. We'll be back in a flash. Braves get a 2-run lead. 3 runs across. We'll be back in a flash.
So you've gone insane. That's fun.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Dog. Dog. Cat. Rat. Ape. Fly. Bee. Pig. Hog. Hen. Eel. Ant.
Frog.
Unbelievable.
So I heard these 2 people talking, and this guy said, Becky, I was on my walk this morning, and I got bit by a Rottweiler. And she said, oh, my God, imagine if that would have been a small child. And he said, for sakes, Becky, I could have fought off a small child.
I should have gone to law school or high school.
Man, we just watched it go down up here in a drug bust, and it was crazy. It reminded me back of my days of dealing drugs. There's 3 things you don't do. 1, you don't sell drugs near a state line. That's just common sense. Number 2, you never sell drugs to a guy that's got all his teeth. And number 3, you don't sell drugs, y'all.
John Montgomery Ward's brotherhood was crushed, and the reserve clause remained firmly in place. The players were even more powerless than they had been before. Albert Goodwill Spaulding's National League swallowed up both its rivals, and now, swollen to 12 teams, held a monopoly on Major League Baseball.
The Players' League is deader than the proverbial doornail. When the spring comes and the grass is green upon the last resting place of anarchy, the national agreement will rise again in all its weight and restore to America, in all its purity, its national pastime, a great game of baseball. Albert Goodwill Spaulding.
We'll put this one on, but it looks like it's a common theme. A couple of our scoreboards that we always share, they're all behind, but we're going to put it on this one because the one we normally use, the good one, it is behind on every single one of their. We even restarted it, and it's behind on their entire scoreboard is behind. First pitch on the way from Joe Jimenez is swung on and fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Just have to do this the old-fashioned way and listen to the game. Hopefully they get it straightened out soon. The 0-1. Righty-lefty. Kicks and fires. High and out of the zone. 1-1. Jimenez set to face Stowers, the left-handed hitter, number 5 hitter in their lineup. 6 and 7. The 1-1 right there at the knees. Good slider. Smacks the black inside 1-2. As of right now, it would be Lopez and Gordon, but we'll see if they pinch hit. It looks like they've got the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. JJ rolling. 1 away. So 1 down. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch on the way. Chop foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Joe Jimenez, 5 pitches in. Braves lead at 5-3 after trailing 3-0. The 0-1 swing and a miss. 0-2. On deck is Gordon. As of right now, it looks like he's going to bat, but we'll see if it changes if a runner gets on. The 0-2 on the Marlins bench, by the way, in the dirt. 1-2. Brujan, Fortes, and Wall. So you'd probably only say bring Force Wall in for pinch running duties. I think Brujan would be the one they would go to. He is a switch hitter. The 1-2 pitch. Down and away, 2-2. You'd like to see Jimenez just go at him. Leading by 2 now. Be aggressive and make him work his way on. The 2-2. Swing, chops it over towards just in front of the mound, He's no way in the world Jimenez is going to get him. He's flying down the line. Lopez will get an infield single. Jimenez jumped off the mound. By the time he got to the ball, I mean, it's basically a rolling bunt. By the time he got to the ball, Lopez was crossing the bag. He probably should have just thrown that in his pocket. All he could do is make that worse. Looks like the scoreboard is caught up. First pitch on the way. It's a slider outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Gordon. It very well may be. I know that all these scoreboards use the same software, and it may have been the actual software that had slowed down for everybody. The 1-0. Right down in. 2-0. So a 2-0 to Gordon. Jimenez clinging to a 2-run lead. On this date, 1979, the great Thurman Munson dies in a plane crash when his plane flips a tree. The 2-0 misses outside, ball 3-0. 1,000 feet short of the runway at the Akron-Canton Regional Airport, the 32-year-old Yankee catcher took lessons over 2 years to get home more easily to fly that plane. The 3-0, right there for a strike, 3-1. That's just a tad before my time. I don't remember the Thurman Munson death, but I do remember growing up as a kid hearing about it all the time because it had recently happened. The 3-1 to Jimenez. Swing! Fouls it away. Four-seam fastball, full count. The 3-2. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him with the slider. 2 away. Man, that is a ballsy slider throw, because if he holds on to that, that was a nasty pitch. So that's got to be hard to hold up with 2 strikes. If he holds up, we got ourselves a problem. Instead, righty-righty matchup. Rivera, the batter, first pitch on the way, 95, blew it right by him up top. It's 0-1. Rivera, he does have a home run on the year, batting 209 now, 14 home runs. He's singled in the 4th. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, slider, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Marlins are down to their last strike. The Braves country is getting up, trying to root on Joe Jimenez, who's filling in for Iglesias, who's pitched quite a bit. That happens when you win some games. We haven't seen that in a while. The 0-2, righty-righty matchup, brings it outside wide slider, 1-2. Lopez makes it up to second with defensive indifference. The 1-2 comes set, brings it. Just got a piece of it. Stay alive, we'll do it again. You kind of figure he's going to go back to that slider again. But if you keep doing that, he could time that one up. So does Jimenez bring some heat, or does he go back to the bender? The 1-2. Swing, pops it up, 95 right in his kitchen. Do it again. So that's the game being played back and forth between Jimenez and Murphy and the man at the plate, Rivera. Where do you go? Runner at second, 2 outs, the 1-2. Braves fans are on their feet, trying to root them along. The pitch. Swung on, fouls that one back. Back-to-back fastballs. Could be bringing the slider in. One-two count. Marlins down to their last strike for a few times here. The 22nd pitch of the inning. Slider down and away, misses 2-2. The 2-2 from Jimenez. Deuce is wild. 2-2 count. 2 outs. 22 pitches in. Runner at second. The pitch outside wide. Ball 3-3-2. Sanchez stands on deck. It looks like Brujar. I believe that's Brujar that's on the on-deck circle now, so they'll be pinch hitting for Sanchez, the number 9 hitter. The payoff pitch, outside wide, ball 4, misses. So now the tying runs are at first and second. The go-ahead run comes to the plate. You wonder how long he'll leave Jimenez out there. 24 pitches. I know he wants to get that last out with Jimenez, but if you don't get this last out here in this inning, you're going to have to burn. Looks like Forrest Wall is going to. So Forrest Wall is now the tying run at first. So anything that gets down in the gap is going to score. And they'll have to leave Fortes on the bench because he'll have to come in to play catcher if this goes to the bottom of the 9th. So Vidal Brujan, who's batting .228, switch hitter, stands at the left side of the plate. Jimenez, 25th pitch of the night, brings it. Right there for a strike, slider up top. It's 0-1. Braves 5, Marlins 3. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing, pops it up. Bends back out of play. Jimenez pointed up to the sky, but it got well into the stands. So once again, down to their last strike. You got an 0-2 count. 2 on, 2 out. Braves lead by 2. Jimenez trying to muster up that last bit of strength. The pitch. 95, misses high and wide. 1-2. On the play, both runners steal the base. And you can't consider that in defensive indifference because that is the tying run at second. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. I think we got to give the game ball to Mr. Orlando Arcia. Or see you later. Orlando had himself a night. Orlando Arcia hit his 11th home run of the season. He also got the go-ahead RBI. Or the final RBI, I should say. 2 RBIs he will finish with. Got to give a couple of nods to Jorge Soler getting that big hit. Good to see him get off the schneid. Schwellenbach wasn't too shabby himself. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. Normally that's where I would go, but because he gave up the early runs, the Braves had to peck their way back. A lot of game balls can be given in this game. When you look at Riley hitting that big towering double off the wall, Ozuna with the big RBI, Soler came through, and then let's not forget about the fact not only did Jimenez get a save, Aaron Bummer is going to get the W because he came in and threw a shutout inning and kept him where we needed to. And the Atlanta Braves. That was just a great win, y'all. It was like, yeah, Cody, I agree, that's a great team win. We'll give the game ball to Orlando Arcia because you got to give it to someone. I almost want to give it to Duvall just to pick off that one guy. Y'all have a great night, Braves country. Braves win. 5-3 comeback win. You got to love this. We got 4 in a row now. Starting to heat up. It's August. Let's get it. You're up later on tonight, by the way. Phillies are starting in just a couple of minutes out in Seattle. That should be a good one.
You're in Braves country.